going to be making vanilla bean baked ricotta. And we're going through the whole 9 yards here. So we're actually going to start with making the ricotta. So what I have over here is I have whole milk, I have cream, and a pinch of salt. Now ricotta actually means recooked. And I'm starting with milk and cream, so I'm not actually re-cooking anything. I'm making fresh ricotta, whereas traditionally if I were doing it, I'd be making it from the whey protein that's left over from other cheese production. But here, to keep it fresh, to keep it sweet, and to make sure our ricotta is a little bit creamier, I want to go through, again, the whole 9 yards. So all I'm doing is I'm taking 2 parts milk to 1 part cream, and I'm dumping it in a pan. I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of salt. That helps the proteins that are in the milk and the cream denature just a little bit, as will the heat. So I'm going to set this over on the oven and let it begin to heat up as I make the rest of the station to make my cheese. So my milk is heating up very nicely. I've got a nice little bubble in there. And now I'm going to add an acid. What the acid is going to do is it's going to cause all those proteins to coagulate, pull together, and I'm going to get some lovely cheese curds. I have my choice of acids I can put in. Here I've got a combination of cider vinegar and a touch of lemon juice. I picked lemon juice in there just to give it a little bit more freshness and zest because it's a summertime dessert. So I'm going to begin to pour some of this acid in. Going to bring my heat up just a touch. And I'm going to just gently stir it up, make sure that mixes well in there. And I can already see some of the cheese curds begin to pull away from the rest of the milk. So I didn't pour in all of the acid that I had set aside, all of my vinegar and lemon juice, because I want to make sure that I get just enough and not too much. So now I've got some nice curds forming, so I'm going to turn the heat down, let this continue to pull together, and just stirring it nice and easy, watching the texture change, watching my cheese come together, and it's coming out quite nicely. And now I've got my straining station right next door, ready for me to begin to sieve my ricotta cheese into my strainer. And all I'm going to do is just let this cheese sit, let the water I can see drain right out of there until it gets to the thickness that I want. Because I'm going to be taking this cheese and actually making a dessert with it and rebaking it right away, I only want to let it drain for about 20 minutes or so. And once it cools, we will begin to make our baked vanilla bean ricotta cheese. So we have our made ricotta. It looks fantastically light and fluffy, and if I pull it to the side, I can see I've still got some of that cooking liquid in there, which is perfect because I want this to be very light and fluffy. Now I'm going to take my ricotta and I'm going to combine some other things into it to actually make it into a lovely sweet dessert. So what I've got here are some eggs. They've just been lightly whipped. Those can go right on in. I've got some honey just to give it a little bit of sweetness, but still keep that freshness. Imagine honey, and then I made this ricotta with a little bit of vinegar and lemon juice. So now I've got honey and lemon flavors in there. And what I've got here are actual fresh vanilla beans. The flavor comes from the seeds that are inside. So in order to get those out, I'm going to take a paring knife and just slightly slice down the side. And now I've still got them all in here, but if I just toss my vanilla bean in and whisk, as I whisk it, all of those lovely vanilla beans are going to just pop right out of there into my mixture. Just a minute, nice even turns, and I can see as I'm looking at it, all those wonderful little black specks beginning to spread out amidst the white. And just when you think you're done mixing, it's probably a good idea to mix it just a little bit more. I don't want it perfectly smooth like a pancake batter because I still want to be able to tell that it is ricotta cheese when it comes out of the oven. So I'm going to stop here. And what I'm going to do next is spoon my ricotta into some buttered ramekins that are in a hot water bath. That's going to go in the oven at about 375 for about 20 minutes or until I get a nice golden brown coating over the top. That's pretty much it. They're done, ready to plate, ready to eat. I just want to let them cool for a minute and perhaps maybe take an option to maybe dress one up a little bit. And I could just put a plate on the top, spin it over, because I buttered that pan. It'll pop right out of there. That one cracked just a bit, but that's fine, because I want to drizzle just a little bit of that honey right over the top. And there we go. Thank you for joining me here at the Springs Preserve. It's been a lovely afternoon cooking with you, making vanilla bean baked ricotta from fresh ricotta cheese. I'm Chef Cicely here at the Divine Cafe, and we hope to see you here.